YouTube, you can Snubby here with a review of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy White Tigerzord. So we got Dragonzord, and now moving on to the White Ranger, we have the Tigerzord. I've been a huge fan of the Tigerzord since I was little. I've always liked tigers, and it just was a really cool design that I really liked. And I'm glad it finally got the Legacy treatment, and it is definitely worth the wait. Love it. So you got metallic paint and die-cast parts and Morphin Megazord. Hurrah! On the side here it says morphs with Dino Megazord, which makes a completely inaccurate and fun combination, which we will get to, and I will add to it actually. Here is White Tigerzord stats. Yay! On the back here, it shows both modes, the story of the Tigerzord. It says, when needed, it combats with the Thunder Megazord to form the Mega Tigerzord. You need to give us the Thunder Megazord first, Bandai. So like the Dragonzord, the Tigerzord is pretty much only going to be available at retail at Toys R Us stores, but it will be available at other online retailers like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth and Amazon and such like that. So there's lots of places to pick this up on the internet if you do not have a Toys R Us store close to you. Plus, ToysRUs.com is always an option as well. So, Tigerzord, like the Dragonzord, costs $79.99 at retail. And while I really like the Tigerzord, I will say that it isn't as grand of a departure from the original toy as the Dragonzord was. The Dragonzord was more or less mind-blowing in terms of the quality. And while I really like the Tigerzord and it's a great functioning toy, it doesn't have quite the wow factor that the Dragonzord did, despite the fact that I love the Tigerzord quite a bit more than the Dragonzord. But it is a great looking toy. No stickers whatsoever, just like the Dragonzord's fully painted, and it looks great. I wish the gold used was a little bit deeper in the sword and on the top of the head crest here, but other than that, it looks really good. You don't have to worry about losing those red orbs or anything like that. The little Zord builder port sticking out back here can be a little bit distracting, but I don't know why your display would feature the Tigerzord's butt facing you, so that really isn't a huge issue to me. Quite a bit of articulation. You got decent movement back here in the legs as well as the foot, mostly for transformation purposes, but it's there and it's on a nice little ratchet joint, so you don't have to worry about things falling out of place. The front here is a full rotation, sans the fact that things can get a little bit in the way, so don't quite do that. You have ratchet right there at the elbow, full rotation here at the whatever that's called, front of the arm, and then some foot action right here. Again, mostly for transformation purposes, but the fact that you can get that much movement in this Tigerzord is pretty cool. So you can kind of try to get him to sink a little bit lower. You can raise his feet up, and if you have stands, you can kind of present he's jumping and fun stuff like that. So there's a lot to do with the posability of this guy. So it's pretty basic. There's no sounds or anything, just like the Dragonzord, so there's no lights or sounds or anything like that to go over. Mouth does open, and the tail is fairly secure in there. It does allow for a little bit of wiggle room, so if you want to get a little bit of different poses, you can. And of course, if you're feeling up to it, you can attach Zord Builder stuff to his butt. So that's pretty cool. Alright, transformation is exactly what you would expect out of the Tigerzord if you have owned the original toy. Go ahead and pop out the sword, which is just a simple rubber sword. It does look nice. Again, no red orbs to lose. And being made out of a soft rubber, it's not going to break or anything like that. So, pretty good sword right there, but do watch when you put it in storage, make sure it doesn't get all bent up. For the legs back here, you just simply unfold them and they will slide right into that compartment right there. Sometimes it does lock in there pretty good, so you're going to have to wiggle that around a little bit. Fold the feet up and these will simply rotate around and lock in place right there. And so you got the bottom portion completed. And for the upper part here, simply slide him down, raise out his head, fold these back, and flip them around, just like that. And you have the robot mode of the White Tigerzord. And here we go. I love this toy a lot. Not only the fact that I really dug the design, but I love the fact that they managed to streamline it quite a bit. I mean, the legs look absolutely perfect in proportion to the suit in the show, while still getting a completely accurate and pretty much perfect White Tiger mode as well. So I really like the fact that they managed to sort of avert the blockiness while still retaining like everything perfectly. So I really do like that. I guess in this mode he does have the mouth open. So there we go. It's got the little orb in there. Beautiful red metallic paint on this guy too. So that is really cool. Diecast part wise, there isn't a whole lot. The feet right here are diecast on the nails. And there is some diecast piece in the leg construction right here. Which I'm thankful for because it not only adds weight to the legs, but it helps keep that joint sturdy. But outside of that, there isn't a whole lot of diecast in this, which is moderately disappointing, but I don't particularly care either way. There is a little bit down here on the nails for that foot as well. So not a whole lot of diecast on this guy to warrant the price, but the paint and sculpt is definitely quite superb. Now, if you look at this guy, you might notice that it is pretty much primed and ready for a Thunder Zord, so that gives me a little bit of hope. But I'll take a look at that shortly. The sword will just pop right into the hand and then just close the hand up. Not like the original one that slides through. This one does actually have working fingers, but it is a full group of 4 fingers. It's not individually articulated fingers or anything like that. So the waist, or the wrist right here does swivel, as well as that rotation right there, and you get a smidge of rotation outward. Just a smidge. So you can get all sorts of little arm movements going on to make him a little bit more dynamic. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite have that down below. There is no waist movement or leg movement or anything. He does have a slight knee joint right there, but outside of that, the bottom part is pretty stationary, despite the top half being pretty maneuverable. So I love the way it looks. I think they captured it perfectly. I'm probably going to keep it in robot mode on my display. Even if I do really like the Tiger mode, it takes up a little bit less space this way. But it looks absolutely great. So bravo, Bandai. You did a fantastic job on the robot mode of this. Now, the compatibility with past releases, it shows it combining with the Dino Megazord. Because obviously, at the time of this recording, hopefully that's a true fact, that we don't have a Legacy Thunder Megazord yet, which is very unfortunate. I really love that design. I love Dieranger's designs a lot. So I would really like to get my hands on a Legacy Thunder Megazord, but unfortunately, like I said at the time of this recording, we don't have one. So they show it combining with the Dino Megazord instead, that completely fuels everyone's Zoo 3 wet dreams all in one toy. So basically what you're going to have to do to get that is pretty much keep him exactly the same. Unfold these to get those down. Now normally in the normal combination, the parts of the lion would fit right up there and look pretty cool. And the back of the lion would peg in right here. There are little slots right there in which the back of the lion could clip in should they make it. So I'm pretty sure that's probably what they're going to go with back here. And then the tops of the lion fit right there. The Firebird latches onto the arm of him, but I don't really know how they would pull that off. So it'd probably just clip in or have him hold it or something like that. But the feet are where it gets a little bit tricky. Since the original toy had these parts kind of slide out and peg inside of the Zord, and all the Zords now use Zord Builder ports, this isn't going to work, obviously. So what you have to do, and I don't like this step whatsoever, because it terrifies me. It really does. I feel like I'm going to break it. And there might be an easier way of doing this that I just am oblivious to. But you have to take out this this leg. You have to take out the leg to do the combination, which drives me bonkers. But it can pop right out. The first time for me was pretty difficult. But now that I've taken it out and put it back in a couple of times, it is quite a bit easier. So hopefully that will get easier over time. So you remove those and then just act like you were transforming it back into Tiger mode. and bring these up. Like I said, they can lock in pretty darn good. So there you go, you got the Zord Builder ports right down there. Flip his head up, and just like the old toy, flip up to reveal that visor for the combined mode. And we'll bring in the Dino Megazord, and here he is. So we can use the Mastodon shield, because why not? You don't need anything else except the arms. And the arms aren't even part of the official combination. I just like doing that to put something up there. You need the saber-toothed tiger, and you need the Triceratops. So on these, flip them back out so it's the foot. You can leave the fist there if you want. I just feel it's more pleasing to the eye if you just leave it as a foot. And pop this right onto that joint right there. Just like that. This leg on mine is really loose. It's not the Tigerzord's fault. It's the joint in the Dino Megazord that's loose. So that's a little bit unfortunate for the combination, but whatever. And then do the same thing on this arm. So something like that, just to give him something going on up there. You can kind of move these however you wish. And yeah, that one is very floppy. Unfortunately, thanks to the way this is designed, if they do a Thunder Megazord, this won't be the case. But these stick out, so you lose the shoulder articulation right there, which is really annoying. Alternatively, you could flip these around forward and make cannons out of them. That is an option, and then you have that rotation again. So you could do that. I actually didn't think about that until right this second. But that is an option as well. And then you put the Triceratops right down here, and the saber-toothed tiger right down here. And then we can put the sword in his hand. Put his sword in his hand, and then the way this works doesn't quite line up right. So you gotta kind of tinker with it a little bit. Just like that, and you can get the Mega Dino Tigerzord, or something like that. Whatever you want to call it, which is actually really cool. The benefit of the Zord Builder ports on this is that you can have a lot of fun with it despite it being a collector's item. And these sort of designs were always kind of tinkered with during the transition time between Zyuranger and Dieranger footage, where this was actually a possibility at one point. In terms of the creators, I think it was Plex at the time, and I think it still is, making new Zord designs for MMPR Season 2 to retain the original Megazord while still using the Tigerzord. So this is something that actually could have happened, which is really neat. So I'm glad that this is capable with the Legacy toys. So it's a nice little quasi throwback if you're aware of that kind of thing. Even though the fact that it's just all Zord Builder is more or less unintentional, but I like to pretend they did it on purpose. But regardless, as I showed, all the ports are there for a combination with a supposed Legacy Thunder Megazord, so please don't pass that up, Bandai. Just do it. Please. Please do it. Please. So overall, while I still agree with myself at the beginning of this review that the Dragonzord was a more powerful wow factor of a release, this is still a absolutely solid toy, and given the fact that it does transform on its own into its own robot mode, definitely makes it more playable than the Dragonzord, even if it isn't quite as impressive as a Dragonzord release was. As a huge fan of the Tigerzord, I love the way it looks. It's accurate to the show. I love the fact that they were able to get a really solid Tiger mode while still having a pretty proportionate to the suit Tigerzord, which I think are the robot mode, warrior mode, or battle mode, or whatever, is just really, really neat. So I love it on display. It's really fun to play with as well. So overall, I'm really, really happy with it. Yeah, the $80 price tag is a little bit much, given the fact that there is significantly less diecast in this than the Dragonzord. So probably a $60 or $70 price point would have been a little bit more reasonable on this guy. But again, just like I say in all the Legacy reviews, if you get a coupon or something to knock that down in price, it is pretty easy to get this closer to $50 to $60, which is definitely a very reasonable price for this. So overall, I do really enjoy it. Didn't have quite the same wow factor, but it's a great toy that shouldn't be passed up by fans of MMPR Season 2, the White Ranger, or the Tigerzord in general. So thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.